Hi there. Welcome to Apple World at the point when I told her mother you could either live here and quit dealing with me like this to continue to mistreat me. You need to return to Florida. And she said you don't have a mother any longer. I'll be returning to Florida. How would you believe that causes me to feel like I miss having my mother? I truly miss having my mother with me. I really figured out on my 19th birthday celebration that my mother had been messaging Dr. Phil since I was 2 years of age. No chance, so I couldn't say whether my mother is an exceptionally self-absorbed individual, and you know egomaniacs, they like a group metaphorically, and in a real sense they like a group cause they feel like, well, I can't persuade individuals who truly know me, so I can persuade others regarding anything that story I need to truly I wasn't actually respecting it at that point yet. I was really poor as before. I began just fans, absolutely not a chance, like I was truly bankrupt, as like I scarcely had like my mother. My mother was in charge of my cash. So she was doing anything she desired to doing. I had a $500 limit on my card. Bhad Bhabie as of late showed up on Emily Ratajkowski's digital broadcast Highlow with EmRata, and she had a ton to get off her chest, particularly about how her mom offered her to Hollywood for cash and notoriety without thinking often about how it damaged her as a teen. Now that we as a whole know the body, Bobby and her mother have had exceptionally open hamburgers throughout recent years, yet the vast majority accept it is all body. Bobby's problem for being a cheeky, thankless kid to her mom, yet hearing things from Bhad Babe's point of view makes one keep thinking about whether Bhad Bhabie was simply misjudged from the start, and did her mom truly offer her to Hollywood? We should dive into Danielle's body. Bobby Bhabie and her mom Barbara Bhabie have had a harmful relationship that has been communicated to a large number of individuals throughout the years, from freely savaging each other to contending on the web, and in any event, getting into a live-streamed clench hand battle. We've seen it all with regards to that pair. You realize how individuals can get with regards to issues connecting with parent and kid. Individuals are bound to favor one side with the parent, since kids these days are ruined consumed by online entertainment and the wide range of various lifeless things they like to talk about. So individuals have normally agreed with Barbara's position at whatever point fresh insight about her and her little girl's battles come up, passing judgment on Bhad Bhabie as the regular naughty Gen Z. On the off chance that you were one of those individuals, you could have passed judgment on her too brutally and excessively fast in light of the fact that Barbara isn't so guiltless as she portrays herself in her new meeting on Highlow with an EmRata body. Bobby discusses every one of the manipulative and harmful things her mom has done to her. First of all, even her ascent to popularity was arranged by her mom in the most poisonous and intellectually depleting climate conceivable. Bobby uncovered that on her 19th birthday celebration, she and her director found that Barbara had been conversing with Dr. Phil about welcoming her on the show since she was only 2 years of age. Children's ascent to notoriety started when she and her mom showed up on an episode of Dr. Phil. For those who don't recall, Barbara welcomed Bobby on the show to gripe about her little girl being an obstinate vehicle taking on the web twerking 13-year-old. Like, Mom, you are the parent here. It is, in a real sense, your obligation to support your defiant teen, since news streak teens are known for being defiant. She spent practically the whole episode crying and behaving like the casualty in the meantime. Bobby stayed there looking hurt and humiliated as they asked her every one of these individual inquiries concerning her dad and whether she had been mishandled as a kid. And it worked out that Barbara's tricks on the show were all to acquire and feel sorry for from viewers, since she had been attempting to get on the Do Phil show since Bhad Bhabie was 2, so she would have successfully gotten that popularity and acknowledgement, regardless of whether it implied abandoning her girl. The Dr. Phil occurrence was sufficiently terrible, yet Bobby's mom didn't stop there. She was simply starting after her appearance on the Dr. Phil show. Her mother sent her to Reversal Farm in Escalante, Utah, a permanent place to stay for grieving youngsters. The program essentially ran like a psycho-military emergency clinic ward, where the patients included 13-year-olds. Bobby rested in a camping cot on a hard wooden board inside a T. The spot was terrible to the point that, as per her, she was as terrified of different children there as the educator who caused a wide range of psychological mistreatment for the children in light of the sort of climate they were in. The children were spiteful to one another and harassed one another, and on second thought of the teachers to improve things, they just went with it. Bobby proceeded to discuss how the half year she spent in that office changed her. She says she returned from it more damaged and sincerely worn out than before she went there, and that was not even the most obviously terrible part in Vision, a 13-year-old unexpectedly being presented to all the harmfulness city on the web, the harassing savaging, and every one of the strange things that accompany openness. That is the way things were for B-Child. After she got back from the farm, out of nowhere, her face was put all over Facebook, and she was determined to wear, who to talk with, where to go, and how to act. She had no opportunity to get comfortable with herself. At a phase in life where she should find herself, no one even stopped to think about the way that she was just 13. Even currently, individuals actually pull up photos of the damaged, worried kid she was then and contrast it with how she looks presently, discussing how she has gone through this plastic medical procedure, and that plastic medical procedure, like individuals in some way or another, or anticipate that she should, in any case, look the same way she did when she was 13. And it was all since her mother pushed her to get things done that a 13-year-old shouldn't, preferably Unit Bobby. Likewise discussed how her mom's steady badgering drove her to begin smoking very early in life to adapt to the psychological pressure, since she was so worried by the tension of attempting to put on an ideal picture and making a decent show as her mom needed. On top of all that, Bobby uncovered that her mom didn't permit her admittance to any of the cash she was making from her music and television presence. Don't like anything at all. She had a calm to $500 month as far as possible on her card, and she was unable to get any of the things she felt could fulfill her, so she did the following best thing she could do. Began a main fans body. Bobby's Just Fans exploded, and she guaranteed she made more than $50 million from it. So bye to the broke life anyway. Her relationship with her mom didn't further develop. It just deteriorated after her meeting with EmRata. Bobby went to her Instagram story to yell about how her relationship with her mother was not in a decent spot. She composed "My Mother Show," a similar example. "Everybody come into my life right now. It's her, no other person I carry on with my life." In feeling of dread toward this fellow consistently, she's intellectually wiped out. And I'm frightened of what she's fit for. Don't think I have her around, since I need to each time I request that she met out and propose to come up with all required funds for a house for her. She undermines me and compromises my sweetheart and companions. I'm burnt out on her residing a bogus story via web-based entertainment. She causes it to seem like she thinks often about me and loves me, when it's every one of the front certain individuals you can't win with, regardless of how diligently you attempt in any event. When they don't merit the pleasant you any longer, I give, and I give, and I give, finance, intellectually, and genuinely, nothing's consistently sufficient. I believe the danger should stop, and I need my life back. I need my home back. I maintain that she should quit demolishing my companionships and, furthermore, attempting to destroy my relationship. Okay, how does your mother feel about your main fans? Woman love cash. She doesn't give a where it comes from. So you do. Do you support her? Actually, damn, it's simply fascinating, that body. Bobby says she is as yet supporting her mother monetarily and covering every one of her bills. However, she remains attempting to demolish Bobby's life and annihilate her connections, which is pinnacle harmful conduct. Not too far off case. Bobby additionally yelled about how she is never viewed in a serious way when she discusses her mother's way of behaving, and how she is worn out on being controlled. When I told her mother, "You could either live here and quit dealing with me like this to continue to mistreat me, you need to return to Florida," and she said, "You don't have a mother any longer. I'll be returning to Florida," discussing contract. Oh, we should discuss that one time that terrible Bobby let her mother know that she could pick between living respectively and endeavoring to fix their relationship, or on the other hand, returning to Florida to continue to deal with her like garbage. Think about what her mother picked. That's right, she decided to return to Florida after, in a real sense, telling Unit Child, "You don't have a mother any longer. I will be returning to Florida." What sort of parent decides to leave their kid as opposed to fixing their wrecked relationship?